It's a very important one for us and for the community, so thanks everybody for coming. First, I'd like to introduce the presenters for today. It shouldn't take very long, but there's myself, Chris Lutella. I'm the president of the Storm currently for the last 2 years. There's Ray Millenberger, who is the governor for the Storm. He has been in that position for quite a while. I don't even want to guess how many years, but a long time. Then there's the commissioner of the AJHL, Ryan Bartarczyk, sorry. And then there's Kevin Higo, the head coach of the Storm. We're each going to speak to certain things, but I'm going to start off, and I will also do the Q&A at the end. So we'll have all four present, and then I'll come back, or three present, and I'll come back up, and we'll do a organized Q&A, and you can ask anybody any question you want, okay? So I just wanted to quickly hit on the past success and what's brought us here to this point for the Storm in the community. So obviously, just a quick highlight for everybody. We've been in the AJHL for 20 years, starting in '95, this being our 20th year. We've had fairly large successes in the league. We hosted the RBC Cup in 2004, and we still hold the record for the highest revenue in that event, where we were able to actually contribute about $75,000 back to the league, and then keep that amount in for scholarship funds and that into the community. We still hold the Canadian Junior Hockey League record for attendance. That's 74,836 for a season, which still stands. And that was set in 2006. We hosted the All-Star Game in 2008. It was extremely successful. Again, very high attendance. And then that was in the crest of our 2009. So we also have had numerous alumni come through and play that have gone either locally to stay and be successful or go on and be successful. We do have some alumni back even today to support the team. We do have that rich heritage of past players coming back and supporting our team as well. So the current state of the team is we're struggling to make the playoffs this season. We missed the playoffs the last 2 seasons in a row for various reasons. Because of that, we've seen extremely low attendance drop, and has continued to drop since 2009. But this year has been a new bottom, about 900 people per game. But we have had games where we were low as about 450. And of course, with that, the dropping attendance, we've also had the financial situation has been following that line of drop. And as of right now, we're working on essentially a week-to-week cash flow to try and make the end of the season. Thus, the Save Our Storm campaign that we're going to roll out. We have failed to make any money and continue to have lost for the last 6 years. So we did have a contingency fund that was eaten up by 2 years ago. Last year was a loss that we managed to absorb, and then this year has put us to that state of week-to-week top cash flow just to get to the end of the season now. Well, I mean, how we got to that state? Well, as discussed already, since 2009, we've missed the playoffs the last 2 years in a row. We're struggling again. We hadn't made it out of the first round since 2009. That obviously contributes some to that. But there's also obviously the economy of right now. Junior A hockey, Alberta and Canada is down, but ours is a fairly extreme drop. It is across the board though. Attendance has been waning in all of the leagues. So, whereas when you look at certain teams in the AJHL, their attendance is a lot lower, but their budget's lower, the way the team structure is lower. 900 sounds like a fairly good number, especially if you're in a smaller rink, but when we have a 3,000 seat rink, it looks like not very many people are here at 900, 1,000 people. And we used to average about 2,200, so it's a huge difference for us. Our attendance in 2014 to 15 was about 34,813, and it's looking to even be lower this year. So I said the record was 78,000 plus. Well, we've been averaging in the 34 from last 2 years, and we're going to probably not even make that this year. So that's a huge drop financially for the team. This year we saw a huge drop in our sponsorship. Last year was a struggle, but this year we're not even 3/4 sold of the things that we can sell here to maintain the team, and essentially all our money comes from attendance or sponsorships. So we've only sold less than 3/4 of our inventory that we could sell. And I mean, obviously that the economy is a huge participant to that. Local talent on the team has been low for the last couple of years. There's a lot of history to that, but essentially we are fixing that and moving forward back into what it used to be. We used to have quite a good connection with minor hockey, and we are building that again, but obviously that has led to some of the issues we were facing too, because we were as low as one person to no local kids, now back to 3 and moving forward with that as well. There's also something to do with essentially how we got here was a little bit of complacency and comfort with the board. We brought new people in, myself included. I've only been on the board for 4 or 5 years. But there is that level of success that we did have at one point that carried on to the board where we felt like we'd be okay, the community would support us, and we didn't maybe get as aggressive as we should have up to this point now, where we realize there's, what the Cats' financial situation is, that we obviously we weren't as successful as we thought we were going to be, and we needed to get more aggressive about it. There's also obviously, as the community's growing, there's a lot more choices in entertainment is out there as well that we're competing with. I think that's something that we have maybe addressed as well. Whereas in 2009 and 6, when we were setting those records, we didn't have to compete with as many events as in Dawson Creek and here, and all the activities that are happening now in the North Country. It does take away from our attendance. And I mean, like I said a couple times, the economy, 2015, I think we all know where we're at right now. Projections aren't looking like they're going to increase a ton this year in 2016. So it's going to continue to be a challenge for us to survive moving forward. Which brings us to this point of requiring the community support to keep the team functioning in Grand Prairie. So, I mean, that's essentially a synopsis of the successes we've had, how much the team has been part of the community, some of the things that have got us to the point that we acknowledge as being an issue. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to turn it over to Kevin Higo to discuss the team itself, because obviously there's lots of questions about that. I only highlighted certain things, so Kevin will talk about the team in its present state and its future. So I'll turn it over to Kevin.
Okay, first off, I want to thank everybody for coming. It's good to see some alumni out, and guys that are here to support, and everybody else that's here as well. So I'm going to talk about a couple different things. First would be costs, and where we are with regards to an organization and a team. Through the 15-16 AJHL season this year, we'll make 17 road trips, which is a high for the league. We have a couple extended road trips this year. I think it's the first time ever in franchise history. We did a 4 and 5 trip, which we played 4 games in 5 nights. We also did 2. We'll end up doing 3 and 3 games trips. And I think just the reasoning for bringing this up is to understand the costs and what the team is incurring every time. In our 17 trips, we were even including a single trip down to, let's say, we went down to Sherwood Park last weekend. We're going, there's bus costs, we're feeding the guys twice, we're averaging probably $400 plus a meal. So every trip, whether we plan to or not, when we leave for Grand Prairie, it's costing us money. And then when you're looking at the hotels, I mean, the cost of hotels have gone up extremely. We're fortunate in some of the places we stay, we're paying $99 plus tax a night. And then some of the places we're staying, we're looking at $139 plus tax a night. So the cost for the team to go on the road is extremely expensive, but that's just the reality of Grand Prairie. But that's something that maybe you know, the fan doesn't realize that costs have gone up, and after what Chris was talking about, the attendance and the advertising and those kind of things going down, it just doesn't mesh. With costs going up and revenue going down, it definitely hurts. The second thing I want to talk about is the process that we are going through. Probably a lot of you have heard about the 3-year plan we have going right now. We are in year number 2 of the 3-year plan. And it's a process. It's going to take time. It's something that we can't change overnight. We can't just snap our fingers and things are going to get better. Did we expect us to be where we're at right now in year number 2? No. Another phrase that I'll use here, and I'll use it a little bit later on, is man games. And by no means is this an excuse. It's just a reality. We're in year number 2, and our team has lost over 130 man games to injury this year. A prime example would be our captain and a guy that had a real good start to his year, Blake Bosch. We lost him for the year. We lost arguably our number 1 centerman, Tristan Crozier. He's gone 4 to 6 weeks. He's probably been lost for 25 to 30 games. Some real key members for us. We just lost another player to a broken foot. He's probably gone for 4 to 6 weeks. Some key guys have gone down with injuries that have hurt us. But with that being said, part of the process was to make the playoffs this year. We're in a playoff hunt, and that's the plan, and to continue on, we want to make the playoffs. Another part of the plan or the process for the Storm when I came aboard was to bring the local contact, the Grand Peace people or players back to the organization. And maybe, again, that's something that doesn't look like it's happened, but it is. Just going through some numbers, and again, man games would be games that players have played or were eligible to play. In 2013 and 2014, the Storm had 49 man games by Peace Region kids. Last year, it got bumped up to 62. This year, for 15-16, we're already at 129. We have 3 full-time players, we have affiliates, and the process is there. This year, we have 7 affiliates from the Midget AAA team that have played games for us as well, and we expect that number to grow. And just to compare, and obviously everybody likes to talk about the highlights and the positives. In 2013 and 2003 and 4, when the team won its first championship, there were 377 man games of Peace Region kids. In 08-09, when they won again, there were 487 man games. So when you parlay that to 13-14, when there was only 49, there's a big difference there. Now with that, I think it's important that everybody understands that hockey's a cycle, right? And not every year there's going to be 4 or 5 kids that can step up and play for the Storm. But from working with the GPAC, being available, trying to be out with those teams as much as possible, the plan is to get it back up to that championship time. And you know, we foresee with the 1998, the 1999, the 2000, and the 2001 group that we can get it back up to the championship of the core of the team is going to be Peace Region kids. And that's something, again, that isn't going to happen overnight. It's a process. And a prime example of our commitment to what's going on is this week. Tuesday night, our coaching staff will be out with the Midget AA team. Every week we run a development ice time for GPAC as a coaching staff, whether it's myself, whether it's Dennis Ricks, and we're out every Wednesday with them. And then Thursday this week, we're out with the under-16 team. Just trying to get involved, trying to build relationships, trying to get the kids to want to come back and be Grand Prairie Storm. Again, as part of the process, when I took the job, we met with every kid that was eligible to play for the Storm. Some kids just chose not to be a part of the Storm, and they wanted to move on. Some wanted to be a part of the Storm and just felt like they were neglected. It's all part of the process of building the relationship and getting it back to where we want to be. And again, with regards to being involved in the community, for the first time, and I think in franchise history, we ran a hockey school this year, and it was sold out, and it was unbelievable the attendance we had. We also ran a Bantam and midget conditioning camp for a week in August, sold out. We actually had to have extra ice time. This year, we've had a fall and a winter skating school that we have 75 young kids that come out on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Our players go out after practices As an organization, we gave up 45 minutes of our practice time so we could have these kids come out. And it's sold out again. We can't take any more kids just because of the numbers. And we did it in the fall, and we've done it again in January and February, and it's been a great success. So those are things that definitely we've been committed to, and we're trying to get better as well. So the state of the team right now, I mean, we addressed the players yesterday. The board came in and they talked to the guys of what is going on today. We didn't want to blindside them at all. And we have an outstanding group of kids right here. They're involved in the community. They want to get involved in the community. They want to do as much as they can to be a part of it, and they understand our situation. And I think the last thing that I'll touch base on before I pass it on to Ryan is just perception. And I think probably the perception outside of the organization is probably the same perception outside of the AJHL. That the Grand Prairie Storm are a wealthy organization that's always successful, that is doing well. Well, that's just perception, and that's not reality. And what we wanted to say to our players is the reality of where we're at right now is we're struggling, but we're going to continue to fight through, and the plan is to continue on. We have plans for a hockey school next year. We have plans for entering year 3 of the 3-year plan, and this is just part of the process now. Was it planned? No, but it's the game of hockey. Things don't always work out the way you have them planned. And our objective here as an organization, is from the board, from the players, from the coaching staff, is we're going to roll with the punches. We're going to continue on. Our plan is to make the playoffs. We're going to continue to work at doing that. And how we get there, is again, it's yet to be determined. But the work ethic and the direction for us isn't going to change. So I guess at that point, I pass it on to Ryan. Oh, Dave, Renee, sorry.
Morning, everybody. Welcome. I want to talk about the current and the spring and off season. Some of our marketing initiatives we have enrolled already developed. We tried a few things this year that some worked, some not so well. But we've revamped that whole situation and try to rectify that. Part of that is our season ticket program. We're probably pretty well we are. We're experiencing our lowest level of season tickets we've ever experienced before. In the past, we've averaged around 1,600 season tickets. This year, we're right around 450. So that's probably couldn't get much. Well, it could get lower, but we're hoping not. Some things we're looking at developing as well, some loyalty programs, or if we have some sponsorship or some donations or things like that, where we have some loyalty programs, and we're actually try and develop a program where we can recognize our former or year after year season ticket holders, and because those people are the backbone of the organization, we want to make sure we recognize those people and integrate the team into the community. Some of the ways we're doing that is we're trying to get the team out into the community a lot more these days. You see them out in the malls, you see them at various functions throughout the city. Getting them out to the schools and things like that. Some of the other things we look at too as well is add them into a seniors program, or we'll send the teams out, show them driveways for the afternoon, things like that, where we can help out some of the senior programs. We tried a little pilot program in the fall last year where we did a play shoot at the Walkley Shooters Club. Just a little one-day thing where we had about 40 shooters. We managed to raise some money on that, so we're going to work with the Walkley Shooters Club on that to develop that and use that as one of our fundraising initiatives as well. Once again, our walk-ups are pretty low, so Tim Conrad, who's our current marketer, is going to work on trying to get those bums back in the seats, because it's attendance that's going to really make both financially as well as team support. The players play a lot better if the stands are full, and I think we've all seen it. At one time, we used to have that, and we realized that the entertainment value needs to increase with that. So we're working on those initiatives as well to round it out, so it's not just a hockey game you're coming to. We'll have some kind of a entertainment package involved with that. Some of our immediate needs that we're looking at needing is we need some volunteers. We need things like for game day as well as fundraising initiatives that we have out there. We have raffles going on that we need that are a substantial contribution to our well-being, and without those ticket sales, we're pretty low on that initiative. When we talk about the money that the team needs, we're looking this year. We need to gather about $200,000 to finish this year, as well as position us well for the start of next year, and that's take us through the off season as well. And part of that, of course, attendance, walk-ups. We have a Sky Suite that we've only had actually rented about 5 times out of a possible 30. So that's available to the public. We're looking for any donations. If anybody wants to donate money to the Swan City Hockey Organization or the Storm, we'd be glad to accept it and recognize that. And we're once again putting our sponsorship packages together. It's all assembled. We're trying to roll it out as soon as possible here to start our initiative for the next season. And one other thing we've looked at is the possibility of sponsorship for our transportation, as in, if you want to sponsor a road trip, that would sure help us out as well. I want to talk about the citizens of the community, like these players that we're talking about. That's where our real commitment is these players. They step out 60 times a year to defend the community on the ice, and that's our commitment to them. You see some of those people that are sitting in the seats right now that have done that very thing, come back to our community and making huge contributions back to the community. And those are the kind of people that we're trying to have involved in our organization. There's also been talk about alternate ownership. Grande Prairie Storm is a subsidiary of the Swan City Hockey Association, which is a community organization. And it was formed 20 years ago. It was formed and remains today, and will remain. That's our goal is to have this organization remain community owned, and we're going to exhaust all options before we look at alternate ownership. But we want to continue to keep the team viable organization here in Grande Prairie, and I think with the community's help, we can do that. And with that having been said, I'm going to pass the mic over to Ryan Bertoshik, official of the AJHL.
Good morning, everyone. The foundation of the AJHL is truly built on community. And the strength of our communities has allowed us to evolve over the past 50 years. But now, both individually and collectively, we must recognize the challenges we face. And ultimately, we must continue to evolve. Part of that evolution is the responsibility to be honest and open. And I think we're at that point today. And I credit this organization for its honesty. It's not an easy day. So today is about awareness and really bringing the facts to the situation and the real struggle that we're facing, not only as the Grande Prairie Storm, but as the AJHL as well. This is a proud community. I was fortunate to play here as an athlete, as an opponent. It was a tough place to play, but I look forward to coming. I had the honor of helping present a championship to this organization, and it's a proud community, and I think this is a viable community. As the Storm traveled across the province, not only did they represent the community, but the entire region at a provincial level and truly at a national level. When I think of Grande Prairie, I think of the Grande Prairie Storm, and I think that's important. From a business perspective, working with corporate sponsors, not only provincially, but again nationally, they realize the importance of this market and this demographic. And I truly believe that this market is viable. I see the future of the HHL being here. I see the Storm being here. And again, today is about honesty and awareness. So with that said, I'm confident that we'll be here in the future. I'm confident in the Storm organization. I'm confident in the people here and the community that, again, this is a viable market. And with some hard work and some awareness and some honest discussions, that will remain to be here. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Okay, so as stated, we will do a question and answer period. Thank you for holding your questions. I'm sure there were lots with each speaker. I just wanted to quickly highlight the media package that was given out. The Save Our Storm campaign itself, what we're here to announce, is essentially 3 parts. There's essentially a rebranding and recreation of sponsorship opportunities that will be available through Tamar Marketer. There's a second stage that was alluded to. Essentially, by tomorrow morning, there'll be a web link active on our website for the community to come in and go on and donate. The way that that's working is, what we've done is, for certain levels of contribution, there are a thank you involved in it. A lot of those things are team experience based. It's being built still, but when it's there, there'll obviously be tickets involved. Season tickets this year for the remainder and maybe into next year, that kind of concept. There'll be a lot of, if you go in and can donate some, you can get the team to come to your hockey event, or you can have dinner with the coach, or you can, with donations, essentially, it'll be team experiences that you can earn or receive for that. And it'll all be able to be done online through our web link. Okay, and then the third essentially is just the Tim, what was it?
Is it the third? It's just investment.
Oh, and then the third, sorry, is that continued looking for investment from community members of a higher level. Essentially, when Ray spoke to the alternative ownership pattern, the way this team was saved in '95 when it was the Chiefs was 22 community members stepped up and put their money at risk as a group, and they were paid back within the first couple of years, and then that's why it remained community owned. That's kind of the structure we'd be looking for again, is maybe some community members step up, take the initial risk right now, get their money back out of it, and then remain as a community based. That's exactly how it was saved in '95, because there was debt at when the Chiefs folded and the Storm started. So that kind of a system of alternative ownership will still be pursued as well. So now I'll open that. I want to just clarify that, because obviously that is the meat of the Save Our Storm program. So I'll just open it up for questions now.
Can you definitively tell me how much is being talked about this trip, if it is exactly that?
The question is how much the club is in debt as of right now. There is some outstanding bills from this season that are owed that total about $100,000. And then there's the requirement to get through the rest of the season, the remaining month and a half. So the request right now, the goal is a $200,000 raise. But we actually aren't physically in debt from past years. We managed to maintain ourselves to this point.